Welcome to the Andy Noise Experience podcast, Endurance Noise and Random Musings. It's finally October 1st, 3 o'clock here in California, and the Jester, I think, is somewhere on the East Coast, right, Ed?
I am. I'm in Augusta, not Georgia, Augusta, New Jersey. Didn't know there was such a place until I got out here. But, yeah, it's 3 hours later, so it's 6 p.m. where I am.
Nice. Looks nice out there. I've been wanting to go to this race for a few years. It's been on my schedule, and I've hemmed and hawed about possibly coming to it. And so I've scoped it out. So I kind of know quite a bit about it, you know, of course, dabbling with like go back there and do the 6-day and or whatever. And so it's good to see that you're there. It looks nice place. How's it there?
I'm telling you, I'm in love with this race. This is awesome. It's similar to A2Y and other 1 mile loop races.
Yeah.
It's all pavement, in pretty good shape. Really, wait till you see the aid station. I'm telling you, man, they really know how to put together an aid station here. Mm-hmm. You know, good timing's good. They got a projection that shows they do something a little bit different. They show our breakdown by our race that we're in, because there's the 24, 48, 72, and 6-day. Right now, there's really just the 6-day and the 72, but there are some people that are doing the other small races earlier. So there's I saw 24 and 48 guys starting. But so they project and they show what race you're in, and they show your current lap you just did, and they have the timing mat set back far enough. I'm just about to come to it, to where when you get up to where the projection is, boom, you're right there at the top. Now I'm sure as more people come, it'll push it down. But so it shows your race, it shows your position in the race for your gender. It doesn't show overall. Yeah, that was just one little flaw. But because there's a woman who I've been flirting with I'm actually in first right now, but she might pass me up here while we're on the podcast, and that'll push her into first. Anyway, yeah, but race is early on. And then it also shows your last lap, so you can compare. So here's the timing mat, and then up here is the screen projection. So all right,
and that's all online too. They have it's on live at thefair.com, and I've been following it, so it's definitely good. Yeah.
So I dropped into second.
Yes.
I don't know who.
Well, I can go over. I got the results for you. I can go over
having that. So you could see. My current loop is 16:42. My previous loop is 16:53. Average time it says 11:36. The last two loops I got some food and just slowed down a bit. So here's their cafeteria. They'll cook up whatever you want up in there, and all kinds of food out here. I just had some pasta and chicken pot pie. Then they also have a whole smorgasbord of goodies spread out on the table, and then condiments over here. And so this is a little bit different. They've got water, and then this little container. So these are my bottles. Yeah. But your Gatorade is here. So you actually put the amount of Gatorade you want in your bottle based on what you're, you know, I like mine strong. So they've got that. So people can put their bottles in there. And then they've got another one over here, same thing. And then this is my little station. And then this will be my bed. This is a plastic table, and that's what I'll be sleeping on when it comes time to get sleep. And I don't want anything that's super comfortable, because I don't want to be sleeping a lot. I want to be getting a nap and getting back out. So, but beautiful little course. It's in this fairground, and they've got real bathrooms, no porta potties, real bathrooms, and there's showers in there. So when I know some people will take showers multiple times throughout their race. I won't until I'm done. But when I finish, I can go get a shower. And so people are set up in their tents, and, similar to ATY. But there's a lot of visual variety, which I really like. And they do things a little bit differently here, because they have so many turns that go both directions. They keep it going counterclockwise like a racetrack the whole time. They don't switch directions, and they don't need to because you do so many turns.
Yeah,
You're not favoring one side.
yeah.
So
That's
here's the only out and back segment right here.
Yeah.
But you can see everybody. Bob Hearn, I saw him earlier, getting ready for tomorrow's race, and Camille, saw her out here. So that should be fun to watch them zip around.
Yeah. Yeah. I lost your video, but yeah, the website's pretty good in terms. There you are back. I was just gonna say the website's pretty good in terms of it's got it's kind of like Mike Melton's. The only thing it's kind of you can't do is you can't click on to see all your old laps, but it definitely clicks through. And what I wanted was to hit you up on a few questions here.
Seamus.
So
Andy.
Andy, what's up, brother?
Oh, hello.
Seamus.
Oh yeah, cool. And so I was looking at it just before I took a little break about a half an hour ago, and I saw you threw down like an 8:30 mile, and I was like, "What the hell is that doing?" And you're at 11:25 pace for you're 9 hours into the race, and you're 11:25 per mile pace.
So I don't know if you saw. There's a pattern I was doing. There was a method to my madness. I would do an 11:30 mile and then a sub 10, then 11:30 mile.
Okay.
So I would go back and forth, and so I was my sub 10s were actually more the 9:30s, 9:15s,
Yes.
and so that mile 42, that was when I passed both first place female, who was actually first overall, and first place male.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to just throw down a good strong lap, hopefully to a little psychological warfare there, but the female, man, she's strong. She's putting down 10-30 miles.
But it's a 72-hour race.
True. and quite frankly, I don't know the history of these other runners if they've ever done a 72. So
no, I mean I was watching it, and actually I shouldn't even tell you this, but actually you're in second as the guy.
Yeah, I saw that just when I came around. I had been in first, but
you guys have been going back and forth, but he just ran his last mile in 9:20. and then the gal, she's at 46, and you're at 47, 48. So you guys are all kind of, and then there's a couple people, and there's about 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 6 guys over 40 already. So you guys are going crazy.
That's a pretty tight. It's a pretty tight little cluster, and I was putting down some pretty strong miles, but I'm going to back off and go a little bit easy now for the next few hours into the night and see what happens. See if they burn themselves out or maybe take off. Have you had a chance to look up any of the people in the race to see what their history is? I don't know any of them, so unfortunately, because it's East Coast, I don't know. There's some people out here that I've seen that come up to ATY. Yeah. But all the people that I'm competing with, I don't know them. Don't know, if they have any experience in multi-day.
Well, I don't think the race is it isn't on ultra sign up. I don't think. Is it?
No.
Yeah.
No.
So then it makes it more difficult to kind of see the things, but and speaking of that, I kind of want to ask you while I have here. I mean, we got tons of stuff we can. I was almost afraid, like, boy, am I going to slow you down, Ed? I think I need to a little bit. But I see that Amy was really going well, and then I hear she's been having some leaning issues already. After only a little, because she crushed the first 100 miles in like 20 hours.
Oh,
and the other guy did 22 hours. I was watching it, and I'm thinking, Mike, it's just. Everybody always thinks you can. That's why I was kind of like, when I saw your times, I was like, Ed, what are you doing? You're going so hard.
Well,
and
I don't know if you noticed or not. The first 2 hours, I purposely was texting and doing stuff with my phone purposely to slow me down because I didn't want to get caught up. So I was actually in 5th place for quite a long time, and then slowly started moving on. I think it was actually it benefited me to start out slower because I was able to pick up my pace and pick up some miles. So it was probably a bit faster. I got kind of caught up in the competitive bug, but you're right. It's a 72-hour race, so at this point, I'm gonna just run my own race, and there's a few people that might trade places with me, and that's fine because again, I don't know their history, but I know when it comes to sleeping
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
other strategies that I've got quite a a bit of experience I can pull on that can help me out,
Yeah.
and so I'm not concerned.
Oh yeah, no. I just
when
was you were going so fast, but then I was thinking,
yeah
oh, he's probably frisky because you haven't run a race in what, a couple weeks since.
yeah it's been a few weeks, yeah.
Yeah. So
So
that's
well,
probably part of.
one of my concerns was coming out here and having like a Joe Figes out or a Bob Hearn out here that just took off, and luckily there doesn't seem to be the case, although we're still at a pretty good pace right now. I'm showing 11:30 overall pace,
Oh yeah.
which is for 50 miles. I'm coming up to 50 miles here pretty soon. That's a bit strong for a 3-day race. So who knows?
There's three of you under 12-minute pace so far in the
Yeah,
race.
actually my Garmin's a little bit off from theirs. So my pace on my Garmin's showing a little bit faster than what it is for theirs,
Yeah.
but
Well, yeah.
it's close enough. But so I'm gonna just.
I mean, there's 8 people who are under 13-minute pace overall in the race, which is
and there's only
really
22 of us.
yeah.
So that's
I mean,
a third. That's over a third of the field.
There's 10 of you under 4 miles an hour. So, like I said, but it looks like before I wanted to ask you a question, like, who is this Phil Eberts guy in the 6-day? He's at 290 miles.
What?
At 81 hours.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Wow.
He's 16:47 pace overall. I have no idea. I've never heard of him, but he's Phil Eberts, 39 from Pennsylvania, and like he just threw down 11:57 mile his last mile.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm wondering who he was because he's 13 hours. I mean, 96 hours is 4 days, so he's well on getting 300 in 4 days, and could he get 500? I mean, I was really amazed at how well he was doing. He was going along neck and neck with Amy, and then he's pulled away. His average is 16:47. Hers is 18:17.
Yeah.
So, and all the way up until a couple of days ago. So, yeah, I was just kind of, you've seen him out there, right? Obviously.
I guess I haven't really hadn't stood out to me. But
He's
I'll
30.
keep my.
He's 39. So, I mean, I don't know anything else about him, but a youngish guy in the game because obviously most of the, and in fact, there's a gal in the women's race, Glenda Hernandez is a youngster. She's only 26, and she's at 200. She's at 205 miles in the 6-day.
Hey,
so
awesome.
Excellent. And then of course, there's some. And then I'm sure you've seen our buddy Bill Heldenbrand.
Yeah, that's
Bill's
great seeing him out here. Yeah. And Bill Schultz is out here as well. He's just hanging out. I don't know that he's doing anything race-wise, and usually he comes with Mike when Mike's in the timing, but Mike's not timing this race. So, but I think he lives close by. So,
and then you have Marvin Scatterberg, the 82-year-old from Colorado, which is often across the years. I'm not sure if you know him, but he's been out there. He got to 100 miles already in the 6-day, and so it's kind of. And then I saw that Newton Baker, that might be him. Is that your 6-day guy?
No, that guy's 48 hour. I think he's in the lead at 48 hour. I think he's up at 50 miles, or he's got a couple miles on me, but he's 48.
Yeah, Ryan Jones. Yeah, he's at
my buddy
51 miles.
Wow, he's moving strong. My buddy Eugene, I see him out quite a few of the races I've been doing out here in the East, and he's 85. So it's great to see him out here. In fact, it's really cool because my race next week, I fly into Chicago, but it's a 2-hour drive out to the venue. And the race director, co-race director, Scott Coomer, with 10 miles, he said, if I can get out there Thursday, because he's from Chicago, he said, I'll give you a ride back and forth, but I got to get out there before, so I was going to have to change my flight. Well, Eugene lives in Chicago, and he said, I'm not doing anything next weekend. I'll drive you out there. So that's
okay, cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. So
that's a race. I'm so tempted. I'd love to go do that, but I just don't want to deal with the the COVID stuff. In fact, how was your trip getting to the race?
Well, typical. it cracks me up because when you're lining up to get in the plane, they've got the stickers that you stand 6 feet away from each other.
Yeah.
But then you're in the plane, someone's right 12 inches away from me. You know, in a 6 foot radius, if I'm sitting in an aisle seat, there's 15 people in a 6 foot radius. And then what cracks me up is when they let us out, they only let so many rows at a time, and they say on the loudspeaker, because of social distancing, we're only let rows at a time. Well, we all bunch up and we're all crowded together. The same people we've been around.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you? It's like,
I know.
you know, it doesn't make any sense.
Well,
And,
it's like
go ahead.
I DoorDash, and I go in and grab something off a counter, and I have to put a mask up, and then there's all these people eating at the restaurants unmasked, and they're not.
Good work, man.
And they don't all know each other, you know. So it's always funny when I'm on DoorDash. I'm DoorDashing. I have to wear a mask to walk in for 5 seconds, and meanwhile there's 80 people outdoors eating eating in the restaurant unmasked, and they're not like all family members or something, and then the poor waiters and waitresses. So yeah, it's kind of silly. So yeah, but you made all your flights and went. How did you get there? How did you get there? Did you end up taking do you get a rental, or did you Uber Lyft again?
I Uber Lyfted. It's only 50 miles from the airport, so it wasn't too bad. And then I got a cheap hotel last night.
Oh, good.
And went out because I'm trying to keep my streak going. So I went out and did a 3-mile power walk, and I was in Elizabeth, New Jersey, which I believe Bruce Springsteen sings about Elizabethtown in one of his songs. Well, that's where I was, and it's kind of like some places in Southern California, kind of a little sketchy, but hey, it's okay. But what really floored me is I was trying to find a store because I don't have any rain gear. It's supposed to rain here. And it said, it's the law, mask and gloves. I guess New Jersey was one of the states that got hit really hard with COVID. And so I guess to go into the store, and it's the law, not just, we want you to do this, mask and gloves. It's like, wow, the store was closed, so I, didn't go in, but that was a little different. But
what airport did you fly into?
Newark.
Okay, yeah, because if I ever do go there, I was kind of wondering what airport you'd come into. So the weather must be good. It seems like you're all dressed up. And
it feels like California. It's there's no humidity, which is a nice change. No heat, nice and cool. In fact, it's going to probably start getting pretty cool in a bit. Need to put some warm clothes on. So, like I said, I didn't even bring any rain gear. So, we'll see what happens with when it rains in the humid, hot, you just run through the rain. It actually is refreshing, but it's going to get cold here. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But anyway.
Well, we can see. I remember the year we had across the years where we had that torrential rain. Me and you were pretty good about working hard and taking breaks when it rained so hard. That was the year I had to get 312 to get my 1,000-mile jacket. And I got 315, and I almost think the rain helped me because it was like, it's raining too hard. I'm going to sit here and take a break. And we would go out there and pound it and then take a break, and it would rain. So hopefully maybe that'll happen with you. Just
talk about jacket. I'm going to show you this. Everybody got, I don't know if you can see it very well.
Yeah.
It's a really cool, nice. It's not waterproof, unfortunately, which would be great. Yeah. But it's a really nice jacket that everybody got. That's, I don't know if it's all races, but certainly 72.
Yeah,
got it, so that's pretty cool.
Well, but, you can just always go old school and get a garbage can.
That's what I'm thinking. Trash bag.
Trash bag, and I don't think it's going to be super. I don't think it'll be super cold there.
There's first place. Well, I'm doing a podcast right now. First place female, Jennifer.
Oh, nice. So I mean, hopefully your weather won't get too. But yeah, the weather looks nice in terms. It looks like a nice place. That's what I kind of figured.
It's beautiful.
It kind of reminds me of Vermont, the BB Farm race.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, there's lots of trees. I mean, I'll tell you, I really like ATY, but I don't know. Maybe it's because this is new and I've been around that ATY loop.
Yeah.
2,500 times? I think I've done 2,500 miles there. So, maybe because this is so new, but, I'm really liking the visual here. It's just got really, a lot of different scenery and it's got a couple little hills, just enough to break it up how we like it, to where you've got, it's not just completely flat. So it's really pretty cool.
And and there's no dirt; it's all pavement.
No, pretty much it's all this asphalt here.
Yeah.
One teeny little spot where we go through grass for about 15, 20 feet. That's it. So
cool.
really nice.
That sounds good. And so you the last race you did then was which one?
Last race I did was the race in Colorado, the Heroes.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I was signed up for Craig's race, and didn't go out because of the smoke. And of course, typical me, I kicked myself afterwards, like, oh man, I should have gone out. But then again, hey, here's Amy. Amy, I'm doing a podcast with Andy Noyes.
Hey, Andy, how are you doing?
Hello, Amy. Keep on going.
He says, hello, Amy, keep on going.
I think we did the right decision on going. I mean, I saw the skies and it looked still pretty smoky up there. And, you look at some of the times, and the times were pretty off by a lot.
Yeah, I was surprised by Jake.
Yeah.
So that was really,
yeah. And, could you have gone up there and got your 100 finish? Yeah, but, also for you, it's just going to be a massively long drive, both directions. And the thing was funny. And I kind of told you might not have remembered, was we went out and hiked at this little park about 40 minutes outside of town, outside of Bakersfield. And when we were driving out there was a traffic jam. Traffic was backed up for no reason outside of Bakersfield. And and so you figure driving all the way to Sacramento, who knows what you also would have ran into, especially with your luck and stuff.
Yeah.
And not leaving, like guessing like, oh, I'm going to leave. I can do it in 7 when it's really an 8-hour drive. And then if anything goes wrong. So, I kind of was like, I kind of wish I'd went, but it's just kind of, all I know is Bakersfield, even today, like last night we had a beautiful, beautiful red sunset because of the smoke. And then this morning, when I went out at 5:30 this morning, the moon was a beautiful orange too. You're like, when the sunset and the sunrise are both orange, there's a lot of smoke in the air. Yeah. So it's kind of like one of those things of like, So, anyways, but and then now you're really prepared for the 72, and I think you'll have a good time. What's your kind of goal for the 72 mileage wise?
Well, okay, so my goal, I'm doing 5 races in October.
Yeah.
So my goal is to get minimum of 777 miles in the 5 races, just because I'm a numbers guy. But I'd love to get 888. So I need to get at least 227 to make it comfortable, because I do 227. I have 2 48-hour races coming up the next 2 weekends. If I can do 150 miles each of those, that's very doable, 75 miles a day at a 2-day race. And then I have a 150-mile race in Texas the 4th weekend. And the last weekend is finally a teeny 100-mile race. It's having 100. So I'm hoping out here 250, the next 2 weekends 150 or the next 3 weekends 150 each, and then the final 100. So we'll see what happens.
Well, because I saw your post on 7.7, but I don't know, maybe I wasn't reading it correctly. I had no idea that's what you were talking about, getting 777 miles. I was confused, because then you're like, oh, I went and did a 3-mile run. And so I was looking at the post, but it was like the first post we'd seen from Ed in God knows how long. And so it's like ancient scrolls or something, like, oh my gosh, we got a message from Ed. But then I'm trying to decipher it, and I had no idea that's what you were talking about.
I probably didn't explain it clearly, but it's 777 race miles.
Okay.
So what happened is, my buddy Tommy.
But I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
I finally, so I haven't been doing social media well at all, and I had as you know, and I had a 2.5-year break on Strava, where I had nothing on Strava, and then I was doing this one virtual race, and I was trying to do 100K, and my Garmin cut out on me, and I texted the group because it was a team effort. We were in the lead. And I was like, I want to still get some more miles. My Garmin said, and someone said, well, why don't you just go on your iPhone and use the Strava app? So I did, and then I've been doing that for the last probably 3-4 months now, putting stuff on Strava. Well, my buddy Tommy said, Ed, you can easily on Strava, you could just share it to Facebook and Instagram. So that's what I did. So because I had posted those, doing those, 5 different races, I thought, well, I'll put that on my Facebook page. And then my friend Jim Crossan, he put a post, I guess, on my Jester page, and I think he's trying to maybe keep up and maybe post some updates. I don't know. I'm not checking it, but so anyway, I want to really try and make a point of during this Oktoberfest I'm doing with these 5 races in 5 states in 5 weeks. So and 3 of them are virgin states for me. Like, I've never been in New Jersey. Next weekend I go to Wisconsin, never been there. Weekend after that I go to Alabama, never been there. So I want to start doing some more social media stuff. And so the whole point of doing these 5 is just for the challenge, of course, but also be able to use that and start trying to market myself, see if I can get a sponsor and say, hey, I want to next summer go for the world record for most hundreds in a year. So I figure if I can show, all right, here's 5 in a row, and except for one of them, the rest of them are all well over 100 miles. So if I can do that, then certainly I can do 100 miles a week. So that's the theory.
See, what it was I saw the post and I saw the Strava on the bottom with a 5K run. That was 7 minutes and 44 pace. But then, right here in the bottom, you kind of bury the lead. It says October goal 777-888. I was thinking, what's he got a phone number? But race miles. And so now I finally know. So I'm glad I asked you, because other people may have got it. I was like, and I'm kind of like you. I'm not on Facebook very much. Like, I had someone write me about the 6-day race and saying that Amy was posting and stuff. And I was like, I pretty much limit myself to like an hour on my phone or that on Facebook, just because, especially with all the politics and COVID and, I wish you could, like, on Facebook, like, have a filter where only athletic stuff,
That'd be awesome.
Like I've told you, I've been blocking, I've blocked a couple hundred people in the past month or two, just because I see them posting stuff and I'm like, I just can't deal with this anymore. I'm not going to bother hiding you. It's like, you obviously friended me because you like following my race stuff, but I can't take seeing the stuff that's coming, posting. And so, but and also I was bumping up to 5,000 people, which is crazy. I still can't believe that I've got 5,000 followers, but 5,000 friends. But that's all beside the point. But so I get your whole reluctance, and that's why I think, maybe like branching out and do Twitter I think the place to be really at is Instagram. Because Instagram, you can do photos, you can write a little story in your photos, you can do some video. But Instagram is nice because it's just kind of like, you can avoid a lot of the drama bullshit on Facebook. Even though Instagram is owned by Facebook. And then the other nice thing is, when you post on Instagram, you just hit a little button and it shares it to Facebook.
Okay.
So you can put stuff on Facebook, but you don't have to be on Facebook. And so, like, I've been doing lately, which has been kind of fun, I've been doing my little podcast, and I've been making these fancy little cover photos for them, thumbnails.
Oh, that was the little grass patch, and then a teeny little bit of gravel for maybe 100 yards, and the rest of it's all that pavement. Anyway, go ahead. So you've been doing your podcast and putting them on.
Well, so what I do is on Instagram, you can put the little thumbnail picture, which is kind of nice, and then do a second photo, which is like a minute of the video. Like this, I'll do a little minute teaser. You can put longer videos on Instagram, but I just do a minute teaser, and then if you want to see the rest, go to YouTube. Is the idea, and so that's kind of the way to do stuff like that. I think, because the problem too, like I said, Instagram, like Facebook has messed with their algorithm so much that you can make a post and nobody sees it. They monkeyed around with it, and it's kind of funny. Also in Instagram, but like I'll post something on Instagram and get 20 or 30 likes. I'll post it on Facebook and get 1 or none.
And you have 5,000 followers on Facebook, but
5,000 friends in
okay.
theory. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even like your post, and you've got a lot of people. You've only got 61 people made a reaction to it, and it's been up for 3 or 4 days.
Right.
And I've tested like doing different things. Like I'll post something personal and it doesn't get anything, right? I'll post something about like say you or a race and it gets a few, and then I'll post a picture of my pug, and my pug's only getting a couple likes. And you know what? A pug is only getting people love pugs. So, but on Strava, I'll get like 100 kudos for a normal workout.
Same for me. I have, I think, like 1,800 followers, and pretty much every time I just post my workout, I get 100 people that kudos and like it, and a few comments. Versus Facebook, hardly any. It's weird.
It's because they're just monkeying with I'm clicking on here. It's just they've been monkeying with their algorithm so much that it's just super, super frustrating. In fact, there's a great show called Social Dilemma on Netflix or something, and it talks about you have 83 kudos on this 5K that you did to post on Ed, and you only have 79, and you have 79 likes on Facebook. That doesn't even make sense.
Well, what can you say?
But I'm saying, we just talk about everything, and I'm just talking about kind of like your whole thing with coming up with next year and hopefully getting this thing done, doing the taking back the record for the most of the year and stuff like that. And so we would definitely, just kind of because you got to find something that you're comfortable with.
Right.
And so that's
funny.
why.
I just looked at the results as they came through. Michael, the guy who jumped ahead of me into first, he just laid down an 8:59 mile.
And
it's like, I'm done with that foolishness for now. I'm going to just stick with my 12-13s and just try and outlast everybody.
You hunted down much bigger game across the years. Remember, someone was way ahead of you, broke a national record.
That's right. That's true.
So
I just have to remember we're not even halfway through the first of 3 days. So I for what I need to do, how the horses, some of the horses, they put those blinders on. I need to have that so I don't even see the results when I come through, and just ignore it, just do my own race. But it was, I think I'm okay. I think I by starting out a bit slow, I was able to pick up the pace, and I'm in a good position. And we'll just see, we all know how it goes when the night comes. Some people take short sleep breaks, some people take long sleep breaks. The weather, we'll see how that affects people. So there's a whole lot more stuff to go on.
Also with you is you can recover from your dumbness.
Right.
If you do something stupid, you have the ability to recover from it a lot better than a lot of other people, just because you've got so much more experience.
Right.
I ran an 8:30 mile at mile 42. But it just was funny. I only get from time to time, I get on my computer, and the first thing I see is that you just ran an 8:30 mile. I was like, what on earth is Ed doing?
Well, the reality is it actually felt really good. It's not like, oh man, I just spent I'm done. It's not like I'm toast from it. So I don't want to keep doing that, but I was doing 9:30s every other mile for a while there, and that was helping me catch up. But my legs are feeling good. 50 miles in, I can do some run walk, and I think if I could try and I'd love to maintain a 12 or sub 12, but I'd still even be happy with a 13 if I could keep a 13 pace while I'm out here. Of course, when I take my breaks, that'll affect it. But I'm out moving. If I can keep a 13 pace for day one, and I'd love to get 85 miles, maybe even 90 on day one. Take a decent sleep, and then that'll, I think that'll set me up well the next 2 days. Do 80 or so, and should get me 230, 240. If I'm lucky, maybe even 250. I know I haven't done that in a long time at a 3-day, so it'd be nice to be back up there, 230, 240, 250.
Because what's your PR in a 72?
It could be 272 or it could be 280. It's an ATY. I think it was in 2011. I think I did maybe the 282, and of course, Joe Fijis broke the 3-day world record by doing like 330. So I took second place, 50 miles behind. But it's all right. I'll take it.
Oh yeah, no, I was just kind of curious. Like it was funny. I mean, we were talking about that. I was talking to somebody about world record performances and stuff, and this person's like, well, sometimes you just got to go for it and go crazy. And I was like, no, you don't go for it. Almost all the world records are methodically planned out, and they hit the mark because they train properly and then they pace properly. And I said, look at Joe. I mean, Joe's very methodical. He's got his statistician guy there, and they go out and they just go out and crush. And that's how he got to 600 miles. So I was just telling this person, I was like, no, the math looks simple on paper, but also I said the problem with like a 48-hour, 72-hour race is you can't just go out and it's so long you can't like hold on.
Yeah.
When things go south, and you're pretty. I mean, even yourself, Yeah, you did 263 back in the 72 in 2012.
Okay.
Was there, and that would be the
2011. I think I did more in 2011, possibly at
right.
ATY, maybe. I don't know. But 263, yeah.
Yeah, 233. You did that in 2011. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 263s.
Right.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
And so you'll have a front row seat to watching Camille and Bob out there.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, Camille's got a sweet setup. She's got like a fifth wheel, and then a tent with a massage table in it, and crew. I mean, she's going for a world record, so good for her. And I would think Bob would have crew out here too, because I noticed. Okay, a simple thing: filling your own water bottles. Well, it takes me about every 2 hours. I was about every hour and a half earlier, but now it's cooled down. It'll probably be about every 2 or 3 hours. It takes me about 2 or 3 minutes to fill up my water bottles. Well, if you look at 3 minutes every 2 hours, and if I'm out there for 60 hours, because I'll take some sleep breaks. So, 3 minutes.
That's 3 hours.
That's
3 hours of downtime.
Yeah, that's time that I could have gotten, 10, 12 miles in that time. So it really makes a difference having crew, even for something as simple as filling up your water bottles, And besides, getting food, like if I come around and say, okay, when I come back around, I'd like to get this, it makes a big difference. So, more power to everybody out here that's crewed, that's great. But that just means I have to work a little bit harder, if I'm competing against people who are crewed and I'm not. But, it's the way it goes. That's life.
Yeah, I mean, like I've done the 6-day numerous times, and I know that I've done 322 solo, but I know I could do quite a few more miles, but I couldn't dream of actually getting someone to help me all that time. It's a lot of time and investment.
Yeah.
Bob
What do you see? Oh, is it? It's a deer.
Oh, I thought you said
It's
bear.
She did. She said there's a bear out here. A mama and a cub, a mama and 2 cubs. Yeah, you probably can't see, but there's like three deer way out there in the field. Well, I didn't know there were bear out here, so I'll have to keep my eyes open for bear. That's interesting. I guess it's a bit more remote than I thought it was.
Well, I used to watch The Sopranos, and The Sopranos is based out of New Jersey mob, and New Jersey actually has a lot of black bears. And even
Really?
in the movies, in the show Sopranos, they have a bear visit their house quite often. Yeah, they have a large bear population actually.
Okay.
Not that they're not
Makes sense.
not that you're gonna see any, I doubt, but they're
This
and
is
black bears.
This is Jenny doing a podcast with Andy Noyes.
Hi.
Hello.
I know Andy. I've talked to him before.
Okay, cool. She says she knows. She knows. You should talk to you before.
Yeah, heard you.
Cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, that's good. What race is she
Doing
doing?
You're doing the 72, right? Yeah, she's in the 72.
Cool.
What's your mileage up to now?
This is going to be 36.
36. Nice.
Oh yeah,
Well done.
see there, Janice Reel from Maryland.
You're from Maryland. Cool. Yeah, you're doing awesome. Keep it up, Jen.
Yeah. So and so you guys, it's 6:45 there, so you'll be heading in and you're going to just keep going until you get too tired.
I want to go at least to 80, maybe 85 miles, and then if I feel like I'm doing the zombie walking, I'm going to take a sleep break. What I'm going to try and do differently also, it's killing me, but I'm not going to do any ibu and try to not do any caffeine because those just wreak havoc on my adrenals, and it's taken me out of a race earlier, and I don't want to have that happen here in the 3 days. So when I start getting sleepy, I normally pop a couple of caffeine pills, no dose, but I'm going to try and avoid that. I might, maybe the last day, maybe I'll do it
To me, that would make more sense. The first couple days, you need to just listen to your body and do what your body does, and not use all these medical devices or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, maybe like the last 12 hours, to power through.
Especially competitive, yeah.
Yeah, but to lose it in the first 12 hours just seems like you're just setting, because it's just like a lot of these things, taking drugs or doing icing and stuff, is you're going against what, because humans made it until about 100 years ago. We didn't have these drugs, and we didn't have ice, and we didn't have all these things, and somehow we got to this time period. And actually, if you look around, things are pretty jacked up now, considering we have all this shit.
Yep.
I've
kind of made it. When I first started doing ultras, I never knew anything about taking ibuprofen, and then someone enlightened me. Hey, Ed.
Yeah.
Hey, about vitamin I? It's like amazing what it'll do for you. And so I started popping a couple of them. It's like, wow, this really kind of takes the edge off. And then I got kind of used to it, and I know it's not good for my body. So I'm going to try and run clean here. No, and even Coke. I'm not going to even drink any Coke until, like I said, probably the final night, especially if it's if the wind is on the line and I need to really, stay awake and push a bit harder.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm going to just try and listen to my body. And when I was pushing those 930s, I could feel my adrenals were aching a little bit. So it's like, my body's telling me, back off a little bit. So that's kind of like, for me, it's now my governor. When I feel because I've had such issues with them in the past, and it's just like at the top of your kidney, it's like a kind of a dull ache in both sides of the back. And when I feel that, it's like, I know where this is going. So it's telling me, even though physically and mentally I feel good and feel like I could push a bit, but I'll pay a price. Like the last 3-day race I did, I almost pulled out of it because I think I told you I had to go lay down on the sidewalk. I couldn't hardly even keep going. And if my buddy, who I stayed at this place, he told me he was probably going to head home. And I looked for him, and if he'd still been there, I said, I'm going with you. But luckily, thank goodness, he packed up and left about a minute before I got to his station. And then I decided, all right, I'll just get some rest here. And it's a good thing I did, because I was able to stay in and won the race. And I'm gonna play it smart. And listen to my body, and I need to not compete until day 3. That's what I just need to tell myself. Don't even worry about. I see, Michael now is ahead of me. So I had first for a bit and now I've dropped into second. I got to just not even worry about that. And, obviously I want the win, but, it's not worth pushing too hard because I don't know, he might end up burning himself out. And if I try and, chase him, I'll be in the same boat. So I don't want to, or maybe he'll just take off and have a really great race and earn the win. If he does, good for him. But just do my own thing.
Well, what I was going to say is, Bill Schultz, who's there, me and him talk often. And, we always say every race is a mile race, 4 laps to a mile, and you're not even in lap 1 yet. And the thing is, and any coach will tell you, you don't win the game in the first quarter or the first lap, but you can lose the game.
For sure.
You don't win the second, the third. And so it's the same philosophy. You're in a 72-hour race, you just break it up and like the first, just take care of yourself. In fact, I was talking to another multi-day athlete the other day, and he was saying that one of the things he had an issue was when he had his really good performance, he went out there and had fun and just kind of took it lightly for most of the race. And then he said the problem is he went back to that same race and he was way too serious. And I was like, yeah, you can't be serious in a 6-day race. Laser focused the entire time. I mean, William Scheifele, who you ultimately beat at that 6-day race, he was like that for 5.5 days, laser focused. But he's one of the few people I've ever seen that could be in that zone for that long. I mean, you've got to be able to
he has multiple world records to prove it too. So
true.
Yeah, that guy's been
and he has a great crew. He's got that professional handler that's amazing. But I remember, I always tell this story, but I still remember, like, on the final day of the race, he caught up to me or I caught up to him and we were walking and he started talking to me. And I was like, Jesus, he hasn't talked for 6 days. And I remember when that happened, if I'd had more of my mind, I should have went up to you and said, Ed, you got him finally, because he's actually talking. Because for 5.5 days, he was so laser focused. And then he finally started talking to me and I was like, oh my God, he can speak, he can talk. And in fact, you just hit your 50 miles there. So you're at 50 miles in under 10 hours.
Yeah, that's, and like we were just saying, this field is for the small as it is, it's way too many people, way too fast at this point. So it'll flush itself out over time.
I think you chalk it up to the conditions are decent and also just the pent up energy that people then just want to run a race.
That's true. Yeah, this is my 800 since July, but for a lot of people, this is their first race since COVID. So they want to get out there and get going in it, and I've already been in it. So but it's definitely a bit of a fast field, but it'll work itself out.
And you got into Javelina. You were talking. I guess they let in a lot of people. Or what are they doing?
It's they're doing this whole staggered thing to where there's some people starting Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday. They have 2 starts at 6 a.m., which is all the elites are in that. Plus, they had extra spots for that, but I didn't want to be in that group, so I'm in the final, the 7 a.m. start on Saturday, which is good for me. I'm happy with that, and my goal is just I would love to get a sub 24 there. I've done it once before, but or twice before, I think. But just to get in and get the finish in the 30 hours, that's goal number 1. I mean, it's way, way, way too competitive a field for me to be even anywhere remotely close. So that's good. That takes that out of the picture. So let's just go out there and enjoy it and have fun, and it'll be a relief from going out here doing whatever 250 and then 3 weeks in a row 150. So it'll actually doing 100 will be like, oh, this is actually much easier now. So
I mean, you got to realize, like at the at the Javelina, what do the winners do, like 14-15 hours?
Yes, exactly.
It's like they just run some ridiculously fast time that, your PR is 15 hours on a track. But on I guess you guys, the record is 13:01. Yeah.
And that's not, is that Zach Bitter? Or I think he was.
No, that's Patrick Regan.
Wow, because
He
he was out there running and he took second place, which is like wow. But
yes,
he's a specialist on I mean, no one could beat him obviously on
yeah.
the flat, like the track.
Check
He's
out these
amazing.
times though. Patrick Regan's in 2017 13:01, 2019 13:11, and then Zach is 13:30 in 18, and Patrick has 13:42. So Patrick's run. He's 3 times he's gone under 14 on that course.
Wow, amazing.
And the women's record is under 15 for Devin Yanko. So and Casey Leitig's done 15:30s.
And by the way, it's not like it's a super flat.
No, it's not flat.
It's a bit of a challenging course.
Yeah.
So a lot of people get confused because it's one of the final qualifiers of the year for Western States, and it's only 6,000 feet of elevation gain. So they think, piece of cake, and then they get out there, and then even in October it can get really hot. It can get 100 degrees out there in October, and then you've got sand. You're running through sand, and you've got there's lots of rocks and
there's lots of tripping rocks. Yes, definitely. There's a lot of rocks. Well, it's good that you got the Saturday finish just because that gives you a little bit extra time to recover. Yeah. Instead of if you had to run on Thursday from whatever race that you have before the but and you're going to the last dot standing. I really kind of wanted to go to that, but and then this race in Alabama.
So that's next week, the last dot standing, and they're doing the 48. They're doing Scott Coomer had told me he still needed to get the very final approval, and he said he was supposed to get it Friday. And so I'm, a little concerned because, I paid for the flight. Luckily, flying to Chicago for whatever reason was really cheap compared to some of the other places. But anyway, so tomorrow I guess he'll find out for sure. But because Monday is Columbus Day, he's starting the race on Saturday because usually 48-hour races will start on a Friday. So that's nice. Gives me a little extra time. So I'll finish this one up Sunday morning, and they'll have, won't have a race until Saturday morning. And then, so there's that one, Saturday to Monday morning. And then the one in Alabama, it's a 1 mile flat loop, fairly flat, if I remember.
Yeah.
So that should be a nice one for the 48-hour. And then there's the Cactus Rose in Texas, and they have 100 and they have 150 this year for the first time. They have 150. I decided, what the heck, go for the 150. So I'm signed up for the 150 for that because I wanted the 777, and it was going to be really tough to do these next 3 races to do enough miles to get 577. So I only had 200 to go. Well, with the last 2 being a 150 and a 100, that gives me 250 miles. So then I only need to do in these first 3, 527, which sounds like quite a bit. But if I can, if I can knock out again 227 here, then that's just 150 at each of the next 2. So yeah, it's very doable.
Cool.
It can happen.
And then I see you signed up for the Best of San Diego 100.
Yeah, I signed up for it last year and didn't do it, but his registration fee is so cheap. I figured, and it's limited to very few people. So I figured, I'll pay for it, and if I end up not doing it, then that's fine. But I also there's Aravaipa has their Fat Ox 48-hour that was the week like the 3rd weekend in November, which I really wanted to do, but they're not doing it at Nardini Manor because COVID. It's just too small of a venue, so they're looking for another venue. And I'm assuming this is not private information, but I talked to Haley about some, the upcoming races like Javelina and Fat Ox and ATY, and ATY may not happen this year.
Jamil was on. He did a video.
Okay.
Scott sent me the link, and they're pretty much not. ATY is not going to happen.
Okay.
And when you look at the logistics with COVID, I mean, you're on that 1 mile loop with all those people, that aid station. The logistics would be pretty. I mean, granted, there hasn't been as many people at the race as there has in the past, but the other problem you have is that so many people travel to that race and
Yep.
they're not going to. Like
Yep.
Canadians can't travel. I didn't
wow.
really notice that. I didn't
Still,
realize that, but
huh.
I was talking to Scott Burton, our
Yeah.
6-day buddy, and he's like, yeah, Canadian, the border's closed. Unless you've got like
Wow.
a family thing or work related, you're not leaving Canada.
Wow.
And that race and across the years really relies on a lot of people
Sure.
coming to the race.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
they get enough people from Phoenix, but then again, there's not that many. Plus, like all the Phoenix people, volunteer and do all the other races. So, if you're just trying to make money off of your Phoenix rainers, everyone's got a comp, and rightly so, they put in the volume. And so when you do logistics of the expense and everything, and nobody can travel to the thing, then it definitely, but they're coming up with like some kind of Scott's
Hey,
talking
Bill,
about virtual
this is
version.
Andy Noise.
Hi,
We're doing
Bill.
a podcast.
how you doing, Andy?
Hey, good to see you.
He says good. I have earbuds in. He says good to see you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
I've
good
been-
to see you too, Andy. He's doing a
Tell
podcast.
him I'm following him. Yes.
Yeah, he's following. Yeah, we're doing a podcast right now. He'll post it later. He's following you online with your mileage. So, what's your goal?
I'm not gonna meet my goal, so my goal is to have a good time.
There you go.
Well, there you go.
That's an awesome goal. Hey, that's very cool.
Wow.
Well, you probably already know most everybody out here already anyway, right?
A lot of new ones that
Yeah.
I haven't met.
Okay. So a lot of new ones for me because I'm from West Coast and, I don't know most of the people out here. Luckily, a couple of people like you and Seamus and Bill who aren't in the race. Eugene, I know Eugene. And Bob Pern and Camille, I know them for come out tomorrow. And there's another young lady, Andy from Texas. I saw her. So, we'll see who shows up. And what's the weather supposed to be like? I hear rain. Is that still in the...
I don't know. I would expect it'll get cold tonight.
Yeah.
Well, Bill's been out there.
So.
Bill's been out there for 3 days. So.
Well, you've been out here for 3 days. So what's the nights like? Does it get pretty chilly?
Well, a couple nights ago, it rained all night.
Was it a cold rain?
Bill, it's always cold to Bill, I think.
If you let yourself get soaked, you would have been
And he says it's always cold to you because you don't have any body fat. So
He's so.
I'm sure it was cold. And I did a bonehead mistake. I didn't bring any rain gear, so I'll probably be grabbing a garbage bag and throwing that on me.
You're lucky you weren't here a couple nights ago.
Really?
Well, I've got garbage bags in my van.
Oh, okay, cool.
If you need one.
Okay, they probably have a bunch extra here for the garbage bags, but I'll keep that in mind if I need one. Thank you, appreciate that. So did you plow through the rain, or did you just go in for the night?
No. I've got a good rain suit.
Yeah.
And enough warm clothes that I was.
You just kept on going.
Fine.
Was it like a ghost town out here, or were there quite a few people that stayed out and did it?
There was probably only maybe 4 people.
That's tough when there's hardly anybody out. You feel like you're by yourself. Yeah. Now, have you done this race before?
No, this is the first time.
First time for me too. I'm like super impressed. I'm like, what? This is amazing. Just the way they put it together and the food options they have and the course is great.
Yeah, looks fun.
Yeah.
And really, I can't complain about the weather.
Yeah, nothing can. What about? I saw the lights on that portion. Is it pretty lit up? Nothing here, but is it? Do you need a flashlight or headlamp, or can you do it in the?
You don't need a flashlight.
Excellent. Oh, that's good. Yeah, awesome.
Yep. Cool. Bill,
All right, well,
Bill's at 145 miles.
So.
And good to see you, Andy.
Yes, I look forward to doing a race in the future with him. Tell him that.
He looks forward to doing a race in the future with you. He says you're up at 145 now, so not bad. Not bad for a young whippersnapper like yourself.
I'm at the wrong end of my age group.
Yeah. The front end of it. Yeah. Did you just pop into a new age group?
No, he's 74.
The right end.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right.
He's at the wrong end. Yeah.
That's right. You're right.
He's 74, so he's biding
74.
his time.
Well, next year. When do you turn 75?
In June.
All right. Well, next June you'll be right back in the new age group then, setting records.
Well, hopefully we'll get to do that in the Milwaukee Dome in June.
Oh yeah. I'm surprised I'm not seeing Don Winkley out here. Is he been active?
I got a message from him this morning. He's following the race.
Yeah.
But no, he's not. Well, you can't do the international races.
Yeah.
You can't travel.
Can't travel. Yeah. Yeah. Huh?
The Dome got canceled.
Yeah.
Couldn't Bill sail to Europe?
Yeah. Andy was saying, couldn't Bill sail to Europe? Are you a sailor?
Yes.
You could sail there, but they wouldn't let you get off the
Oh
boat.
yeah.
Oh.
Bill had his sail. And Bill had his sailboat sink from underneath
and
him.
then you couldn't get off the boat.
Oh, Andy was telling me you had your sailboat sink from underneath you?
Oh, we don't want to get in.
Oh, okay. Bad memories? All right.
No, it really was good memories.
Oh.
But if I get started telling that.
That'll be all night long, huh?
Yeah.
No,
you know what?
no,
Maybe at 2 in the morning when I'm falling asleep, I'll come find you and say, okay, Bill, tell me the sailboat story.
Oh, it's it's amazing.
You could Google my name.
Yeah.
And say
it's there. Oh, really?
And I think the story might come up.
Oh, cool. I'll have to look that up.
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
it's craady. Just when we were just talking about that, so no, it's always good to see him. I met he's one of the people I love to.
For years telling Andy that.
We'll say that again.
Well, I was at Across the Years, and Andy was there.
Yeah.
And you got a lot of time to tell stories.
Sure.
And that had just happened maybe 6 months earlier. So,
oh yeah, I just Googled it, and there's a picture. Yeah, it's
very cool. Awesome.
Crazy times.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Bill. Good chatting with you.
Oh no, thank you, Bill. Tell him we look forward to seeing him.
Look forward to seeing you back out there. Yeah, it's pretty cool that whole display. It's bright enough. I mean, HUI, they do it.
Oh, we lost you, Ed. Looks like we lost Ed, but yeah, he's that was Bill, and it says here back in 27, Bill, 2 months after his 36-foot vintage sailboat was abandoned 550 miles off of South Carolina, the boat ended up at Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts. Note in the bottle, and yeah, he ended up had his boat, and it sunk, and he got rescued by some people. So it was pretty amazing. So kind of cool. Oops. Hey, Ed. I can hear you, but
Okay. Oh, were you able to still hear me? Because this.
No, I couldn't hear you. You disappeared.
Right.
I said I can hear you now.
Okay. So I was just saying that I like how they have that projected because it's bright. You can see it, and it's up to where there's plenty of room where people aren't just crowding around it.
Yeah.
And it's actually up higher too. So someone's standing there looking at it, they're not blocking it. You can see above their head. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I gotta tell you, they really they've been doing this for a while here, and they've really got it down to a science. I'm really impressed with this event.
Well, it was interesting when you were talking about the weather and the rain, and I know that's basically every May they always do have quite a bit of rain. Adam and Eliza went there one year and ran, and they said that the rain did hit quite a few times. But we're just spoiled Californians where, Bakersfield, we get 6 inches of rain a year. And so other parts of the world, that's just, something that happens. So
this is normally held in May?
Yeah. Late
May. Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Lucked out then. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, I think the weather is probably very similar, as it is in, right now, late spring, early fall, probably about the same kind of weather. But, it looks gorgeous there. And so, it's on my list of things to do. If I do another 6 day, I kind of want to do the Sir Chamoy one that we've talked about in New York, and then or this one be one of the options too.
Yeah, well, talking about that, Seamus was telling me they're probably not going to do it this year. The 6
No,
and 10, the 3,100 mile, that probably will still go because they only have, like
Yeah.
less than a dozen people to do it, and I'm pretty sure I'm on the short list for that. So hoping that happens. But but the 6 and 10 day, which I've done the 10 day out there, it is a really cool venue, but he said probably not going to happen this year.
Well, the problem is how you're going to decide is what are you going to do with your trying to break the most hundreds in a year if you get in 3,100. Which are you going to do?
Well, see, I wouldn't start the most hundreds a year until my birthday, which is August 15.
Oh, okay.
So,
that's right.
So that gives me a chance to get out there, do that, because that is in June. Goes into July. I don't know if I'll still be able to do Ballard this year, but yeah, that would give me not a whole lot of time for recovery, but maybe a month. That would work. But
yeah, everyone who's done that race, it destroys you.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I mean,
yeah.
Scheifele did it, and Yolanda did it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't think you're going to do a 3,100 mile race and then go do 100 every weekend for a year.
So I don't know if you could. I don't know if you can see, but that's Camille's setup.
Nice,
right there.
But see, the other issue you're going to have, Ed, that's why I was just we talk about this, and like I said, it's like, why do the show in the hallway? We just kind of talk about almost everything on the show. And what I was saying is, one, with this COVID, we still don't know what's going on. But two, like if you want to do the 3,100 mile race, physically, I was thinking, I thought you were going to start at the beginning of the year, but that's fine too. But then the other problem you have is that if you do it after the 3,100 mile race, I think physically that's a huge task. But then also your other issue is going to be, can you take 50 days to do that, and then every weekend
that's
for a year, a year? There's no way that's happening. There's not going to happen. The physical, I shouldn't say anything about the physical, because if I say physical, well, I can pull it off. I'm like, well, I remember seeing you. I saw Yolanda after her 3,100, and I know I've read reports of William Scheifele when he did it, and it's pretty much when you do 60 miles a day for 50 days on that concrete, it's pretty. And so the odds of you going from that and taking a month off and then jumping in, but then also just the logistics and the money and the time off, I don't think you can take off 50 days and then take off. I mean, when do they kind of announce that race? That's a problem, I guess, too. But I think, well, when
not till I don't think it's until January or February that they actually announce it's going to be it. But maybe I could I can get in touch with the race director and ask to get a pass until next year. Maybe he'll do that for me.
Well, you know what? I honestly think, go for, because you'll be motivated. I think go for the record breaking. I know you want to get up and do it, but do it when you're 60.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Well, see, the idea, if I started on my 59th birthday, then I would turn 60 the weekend that I've completed it. But then again, I guess I could say start it when I'm 60. But hey, I don't know, if I'll still be in this kind of shape. Sometimes people start to drop off. At that age, so I don't know if my body physically will be.
But you also want to do.
That.
I think you really, really want to do that 3,100 mile race. So that's.
I do. Yes, that's true.
Yeah, and you do the 3,100 mile race, that definitely goes down in the record books for a long ass time, because there's not a lot of Americans have done it at all. Not a lot of Americans. Yolanda's one of the few. She's one of the few women, I think, American women to do it, and even American men. I can't remember the last American man that's gone there. I mean, maybe some of the people who've done it are technically American, but they're part of the whole organization. So, kind of, you'd be the first recognizable, but like, hey, Ed, he's one. But that would be. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. That's what I'm just saying. Like I said, it's just kind of interesting what you're thinking of, because, myself, it's like you just have these plans and you just don't know. It's like you just have no idea what's going on, of course. So, anyways, lots of lots of things you got to think about, but at least you got your next month or so in hand, and
right.
it looks like it's gotten nice out there, and I hope you enjoy your evening. And we'll definitely let's get back together later on in this race if you'd like. I'd like to talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow, same time, stay in that channel. We can jump on. This is a good time for me. So
okay. Was it warm? What did it get warm there at all?
You're talking to a Southern California desert kid, but I think for some people may have been a little bit warm, but no, it was. I actually felt really good, but yeah, I was sweating a little bit during the middle part of the day, but
well, that's why I was going to ask you.
No humidity.
I was going to ask you, do you want to do it a little earlier when the hot part of the day?
You know, it wasn't warm enough to affect my pace at all. I don't think. I was still running really strong, so I don't think that's an issue. So it's probably okay.
Okay.
Here's Amy. We can say goodbye to Amy before we close out. Yeah, we're about to close out.
Hello, Amy. Keep going. Whoa, don't do that.
Have a little lean.
Yeah.
Little
lean. Yeah.
I've had that hit me.
Helped me with some back work to get it so I could move.
Good.
Lost my big goal for the race. So here I am.
But you're out here. But Andy said you just tore it up on day one. You did like 122 hours?
20 hours.
Is that right? 20 hours.
No,
20 hours.
I PR'd by 100.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
And,
You know, Amy, that's not the way you typically pace a 6-day race is go out and the first 100 PR.
So here's my goal. I came here for 500.
Yeah.
I wanted to do 100 on day one
Yeah.
and 580s.
Yes.
So I got in 107 on day one.
Nice.
I got in my 80 on day two.
Nice.
And then it flew
Oh,
apart.
oh man.
Maybe the pacing was too aggressive day one. Certainly easy to think that.
Yeah.
But I've never gotten the lean before. I mean, if it weren't for the lean, I think I could have gotten those 80s in.
Yeah,
I just can't
for sure.
get in any run. So the fastest I'm doing are 20-minute miles.
And you know, I'm just really impressed that you're out here because there are plenty of lesser men and women who would have thrown in the towel and said, "Nah, I didn't get my A, B, or C goal. I'm out of here." So.
I think it didn't occur to me.
Well, you know what? You're an inspiration. Seeing you out here, even though you're in pain, you know, you're still moving and you're you know, that's what it's all about. So good for you.
Great to see you. Bye, Andy.
All right.
Hey, good seeing you.
You say good seeing you.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right.
Yeah, so she's because the other guy, Philip, he's at 294 now. He's gonna be hitting 300 pretty soon. Yeah, still haven't figured out who he is.
What's Philip look like? Andy was saying he's at 294. I don't even know who that guy is.
He's a rock star. He did 10 days at ATY.
Uh-huh.
He came here 2 years ago, 1 year, maybe it was 2 years ago, and blew it out of the park. Nobody knew who he was.
Wow.
Young guy, shut up for a 6th day, and he got in the 500s.
Whoa.
Don't remember.
What, Andy? Weren't you telling me once before that only like 13 Americans have gotten 500?
Yeah.
In the 6 days. So wow, pretty impressive.
I mean, I could be wrong about that, but I think he's done it.
Wow.
He's really he's a fabulous 6-day runner.
Wow. What's he look like? I'm sure he's probably been blown past me and I haven't noticed it.
He's got dark hair.
Mhm.
He's
What age do you think?
He's 39.
39, Andy says. And he says 39, so young guy. Wow. To be that young and be able to do that well in a multi-day, that's pretty amazing because most of the guys that age just don't have the patience for it.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to win it for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. I'm surprised your Aussie friend's not out here.
Annabelle, I don't know.
Yeah.
Travel.
Oh, that's right. Travel. I forgot. Sure enough, stupid COVID again. Yeah. Otherwise, it does, man. That darn COVID. Yeah. Otherwise, she would probably be out here. So, yeah.
Yeah. He did last year at the 10-day. He did 660 miles in the 10-day.
Andy says last year at the 10-day, he did 660 miles. Do you know what he did here at the 6-day? Was it last year you said he was here?
No,
Or 2
he
years
he
ago?
he he did it.
Yeah.
He did it. He did a 10-day there, and he did 730 miles
A 10-day
at 3 days of fair.
3 days of the fair. He did a 10-day. He did 730 miles.
731 miles.
That's awesome. That's whew. I've done
'Cause-
715, and I know what that feels like. So wow,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
He came in. Yeah, it says.
We were neck
Se-
and neck until.
Oh, I know. I was tell her I was watching it. I was watching those two. It's like a boxing match.
Andy was following you two. He says it was like a boxing match, watching you guys spar out there. That's cool.
Yeah, it was
How
just
was
like
the rain? Did you?
Oh my god! I mean, the first 2 days were rough with weather. I was
as bad as ATY or worse or
it was just as bad. 'Cause
just as
day
bad?
one was really humid and really
Oh
warm.
wow.
So it was just heat and humidity.
Oh geez.
Day 2 was heat and humidity until the rain.
Oh,
Then the rain was good for just a little bit because it cooled you down.
sure. Until it got to be a nuisance.
Deluge.
Oh no.
And the temperature dropped like 10 degrees and the wind picked up.
Oh.
And it was knocking people's tents over.
Oh geez.
And for a
Yikes.
while, I think I was one of 2 or 3 people out here.
Yeah, Bill Heldenbrand was saying he said he thought maybe 4 people. That's just it's like a ghost town. You need people out here. That's really difficult when you out there feel like you're by yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I think that last round I felt like hypothermic. I was like,
Oh, that's not good.
As good a time to rest. And
Yeah.
Does Amy have another race coming up that she's doing?
Andy wants to know, do you have another race coming up on the schedule?
Not too.
No.
Yeah. Good.
No.
Yeah.
And HUI is not going to happen this year. It sounds like. Yeah. Is that for sure? Jamil said it's not, or there still is a possibility.
On the video, he said that right now it's looking like they're not going to be able to hold it. That was a week or so ago. He did a video. He actually posted a video.
Put out, and he says Jamil posted a video about a week ago. Says right now it looks not good for ATY. So he hasn't said a definite no, but and I had talked to Haley as well, and she had about a week ago, and she had said the same thing. So that's really bad because Snowdrop dropped, and people that are loyal to Snowdrop, a couple friends of mine said, "Okay, I'll go out to HOI this year finally because Snow." And it's like, oh, that's not going to happen also. So that's really sad.
Yeah, I went to Snowdrop last year.
What's that, Andy?
13.
Hey, you got a sub 20. There you go.
Nice.
You went to Snowdrop last year, Andy?
Yeah, I went there, but I got sick. But it was a fun event. But it definitely, I wanted to go back this year, but they're not. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So they are. Yeah. They said with COVID, they got a wait list for across the years, but it's sounding like I said, the problem is you just have the way the conditions there, and also travel, it's definitely difficult because nobody foreigners.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like kind of looking at that guy that we're talking about, he did the 10-day where he did the 731, and then last year he did the 10-day again and did 660. That was when you just brought her up. Annabelle did that crazy. She did 740 in a 10-day last year at Annabelle Hepworth. So definitely that's an amazing 740. So, okay. Well, I think I'll probably let you go, Ed, so you can get some miles in.
My compadre just passed me again, so he's now at 54. I'm at 52. He did a 9:18 mile, so he's pushing some strong miles. So I'm just gonna bide my time and do my own thing and keep on power walking out here. And there's a lot of race to go.
Oh, yeah.
All right, buddy.
We're keeping track of you.
Good. And if you get a chance to post on, my page, that'd be good. I'm sure people would like to know if you can. That'd be great. And this video as well, the podcast. If you could post that, it'd be great. So, all right. Well, then I'll check back in with you tomorrow at 3:00 your time.
Sounds good. Thank you, Ed. And
right, Andy.
we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good.